Welcome back to another episode of What's Holding Back My Music Production. Not a damn thing. Cheers. A little bit of coffee, I'm a chef by day and a chef by night, so I gotta do some coffee, stay up, and do some projects after that. Ain't touched base in a little bit, just touching base with y'all. Still the same thing, still coming from the DAW list, still loving the DAW. One of the main reasons was because setup with hardware, although I think it sounds better, it's a lot more setup, a lot more cables, gotta worry about MIDI in and out, room in your studio, and one of the major things for me was learning different devices. I would take 40 minutes to set up, a jam, and then I'd have to relearn that machine because maybe I used it 2 months ago, and then now I gotta watch a video on the other machine because I'm mixing 2 machines together. So for me, it was workflow. I'm a firm believer in just like getting in your studio, powering it on, whether it be your synths or your interface or what have you, and come in there and boot it up, get you cracking. Firm believer in not like messing up the workflow or your creative juices. Because for me, when I get creative and when I'm making my best stuff, it's like it comes quick. It comes out of nowhere, and I'm not really sure what causes that. I'm not really sure if that's like comes from the ether, man. And when it comes from the ether, I just gotta jump on it, be on it right away, get down. As far as like using plugins, if you want to jump into the DAW, or if you're like, there's so many free plugins popping out right now that you can definitely make good tracks with just free plugins. And I think because of the advent of the AI right now, that there's just tons of plugins being brought out. I definitely want to do Plugin Addict still, a show that I was kind of passionate about. I don't do sponsored content on here, even though I've been offered a few times. I just like to do, I just like you guys to value my opinion. So like if I'm using something, it's because I'm using it in my projects personally, and I like it. Never gonna be like a money-based decision. It's gonna be like, does this help my music or not? For me, obviously, because for everyone else it's different. That's the thing I would say about DAW list. Should you get this machine? Should you get that machine? It is, what workflow do you like? I think that's the most important. Right now I'm happy because my workflow is good and I feel efficient. If you feel efficient with your workflow, I don't care what you're using, how old the machine is, unless it just sounds bad, like, you're gonna have to train your ear. Like, sounds bad, but if it's somewhat decent, if it's usable, then you can make music with it. I think you always hear this, like, use what you got, but it's very true. It's like, master what you got, And I think part of that rolls into what I was saying earlier, is the consistency in using the same piece of gear. What really helped my workflow was just, I'm not using multiple machines, learning different workflow. I'm using the same piece of gear, pumping that out every day, and it's adding to my knowledge of that program, that synth, whatever you're using. If you're constantly using it daily, you're going to start mastering it. I think if you're switching it up too much, if you're like, I got in a rhythm where I'm like, oh, this don't sound right, maybe I need this. Oh, if I only had that, I could do this. And you get those machines and you're just in this never-ending cycle of kind of like trying to buy a machine that's going to fix something that you're not really sure what it is, or you think this new machine's going to have this and it's going to unlock this whole workflow. I don't know if that's necessarily it. I chased that. I chased a lot of machines thinking, even on paper, like, oh, it has this, that's all I'm needing. And then you get it and there's just something else about it, or something about the workflow you don't like. So I think it's more important to use whatever equipment you got, like a system list. Like, oh, I like to use this for drums, I like this all the time for my synth. If that's working for you, stick with it. When you want to like upgrade your sound, or if you really had to change, like, oh, I've been using the same type of sounds for too long, then maybe that's time to get into synth or something like that. But there's plenty of synths or gear I sold where I didn't explore it 100%. I can't say that I knew that machine inside out, that I was like with it every day. And so even selling those, why not sell them? But Maybe it was to get a new piece of gear or whatever my thought was at the time, but you know, if you ain't mastered that machine, what are you doing? So yeah, plug-in addict. I'll try and make that like once a week, make that a consistent show. And I'm only gonna show the best plugins on there, man. It's gonna be top stuff of 2026, hidden gems, stuff that I really don't even want to show y'all, to be honest. Like, you know, when you're using something and you think it's fire and you don't really want to tell everybody about it. Like, every producer won't tell you this, but everyone's got some tricks in their bag that they ain't gonna tell you. They got some stuff in their bag and they ain't gonna I might give you my bag. I might start giving y'all the bag just cause, you know? Like, if I ain't a professional, if I ain't doing this, you know, making money off it or something like that, which we all make a little money, you know what I'm saying? If you're not like a big artist, you know, why not get back? You know, if you're a big artist, then maybe you're doing you, but right now I'm just trying to help everybody. I love music, I love this stuff. The first thing I do in the morning, I don't even eat breakfast, I make a track. I wake up, for one, from dreams, talking about sidechain and stuff. I live and breathe this stuff. So yeah, every day is on my mind. When I go to bed, it's on my mind. When I wake up, it's the first thing I think about. Production, music, samples, drum machines, groove boxes, synthesizers, all that. So that's pretty much like 24/7. Tracks have been going good. Been pumping out some tracks. I'm trying to do more transitions and work on full tracks. I've been doing a lot of short segments and working on my sound for a long time. So a lot of y'all might just see little short jams all the time. That's just me working out things, testing stuff. And I put everything out. You know, I heard another content creator say, you know, he deleted a bunch of his tracks and he wished he didn't. He was like embarrassed by them and he got rid of them. They were older and I was like interested. I wanted to hear them. He didn't have them no more, and I remember thinking, no, I'm never gonna do that. I'm never gonna like post some stuff and then delete it later because it wasn't up to par or something. Like, I hope y'all see the mistakes. I hope y'all see the progression, hopefully, and I hope y'all see, like, you know, sometimes it's a banger, sometimes it's a dud. It just be like that. Most of the time it be duds. But every once in a while it'll be a banger. Or, you know, the people are different. You guys, a track I might think a banger might get low views, and the one I think crap gets tons of views. So there's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes I don't know if it's the algorithm pushing it or if it's really just a dud or hot. I think that's the biggest thing as far as feedback. Y'all can hurt my feelings. If you ever hear something or have any suggestions on the track, I'm for constructive criticism. I like it. I think it's, you know, constructive. You know, obviously to a point. Like, please make some kind of point. Don't just be like, that sucks. Be like, that sucks because your synth sounds like shit and your vocals are off. Something. As long as there's some kind of feedback, I can at least, you know, take that in and maybe work on it. And yeah, I also try and be mindful when I'm giving someone else, because that's the thing. I'm not getting no feedback. You can have all these views and this and that, but I think feedback's more important. You know. I wish more people in the community were doing collabs. I see tons of beat makers and rappers out here, but none of them linking up, which makes no sense. I don't see any collaborations on YouTube, really. Seems like everybody's making their own music. Nobody's making, you know, two minds are better than one. And that could just be because different personalities and people not wanting to get into business with people and make tracks. But I'm saying even for fun, like, where's the collabs at? Where's these hot tracks and these rappers? I got tons of, you know, I put out thousands of tracks and not one rapper was like, yo, let me get a beat. So I don't know if they're just making their own, or I remember when there was a high demand for beats and there was a rap crowd and or whatever, a rap crowd and a beat maker crowd. Why aren't they linking up? Why is rap separate on YouTube and the beat makers over here and the rappers over there and none of them are linking up? I don't know. You could say that with rock or any other genre. It doesn't have to be hip hop. That's just, you know, one of my favorites. But yeah, man, there's no exciting new gear. Suno's got a watermark. I think AI is about to die. I think that everyone's going to put this watermark in there, and there's going to be protections, and I knew this was coming. If you're paying for Suno right now, yeah, I mean, if you can't even use that, I guess for personal use, you could pay for it to have personal songs, but for somebody, trying to put out music for themselves, I don't think it's the play, man. I think this is gonna whittle down as much money as that company's got from subscriptions, because people are subscribing. They are doing good, but I don't know what they're doing with that music. I don't know what they're doing with it. But yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. I think this video rambled on long enough. But just want to touch base with y'all. Look out for Plugin Addict. I'm gonna start that show weekly. Probably gonna start it here in the next week. I already got an idea for the first episode or two. Only gonna be banging plugins, and I'm gonna use them in action. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. I think some of these DSPs are really good, where you put them on the chain and you can hear it right away. It's not like some presets, like you can feel the algorithm pulling that sound right away. So yeah, excited to do some of my most used plugins. And I would do more breakdowns of just me building a track in Reaper or in the DAW, but a lot of people are telling me nobody wants to watch that. Y'all tell me, would y'all like to see the song from scratch to finish? Like the process or how I go about working? Just curious. Let me know in the comments. Anyways, hope y'all are doing well, and I'll catch y'all next time.